In this podcast episode, Ben Shapiro discusses the recent appointments made by Donald Trump following the election, emphasizing the significance of these selections for the future of the United States. Shapiro expresses his enthusiasm for Trump's choices, particularly highlighting the controversial yet promising picks for key positions in the administration. Shapiro begins by praising Trump's rapid rollout of cabinet appointments, particularly in the realm of national security. He notes that just days after the election, Trump has already announced nearly his entire cabinet. One of the standout selections is Pete Hegseth, a former Army veteran and Fox News host who has been chosen as Secretary of Defense. Shapiro argues that Hegseth's outsider status and military background make him an ideal candidate to reform the Department of Defense, which he criticizes for its recent failures and woke policies. Shapiro points out that Hegseth's military experience, including his service in Iraq and Afghanistan, positions him well to lead the Pentagon and implement necessary changes. The podcast delves into the backlash from the left regarding Hegseth's appointment. Shapiro cites Elizabeth Warren's criticism, highlighting the irony of her questioning Hegseth's qualifications despite his extensive military service. He argues that the left's outrage stems from their fear of Hegseth's potential to disrupt the status quo within the military establishment. Shapiro also discusses Hegseth's views on military engagement, emphasizing his belief in a more aggressive approach to warfare, which he believes is necessary for national security. Shapiro continues to outline additional appointments made by Trump, including John Ratcliffe as the head of the CIA and Mike Huckabee as the ambassador to Israel. He describes Ratcliffe as a warrior for truth who will focus on countering threats from China and reforming the intelligence community. Huckabee's appointment is framed as a strong move for U.S.-Israel relations, given his hawkish stance and deep understanding of the Middle East. The podcast also touches on Trump's plans to establish a warrior board to review and potentially remove senior military officers deemed unfit for leadership. Shapiro argues that this initiative is necessary to purge the military of political influences that have hindered its effectiveness. Shapiro shifts the discussion to the economic implications of Trump's administration, noting that the business community is optimistic about the new leadership. He cites Bill Ammon, who claims that business leaders are excited about the potential for economic growth under Trump. Shapiro emphasizes that Trump's focus on deregulation and efficiency will create a favorable environment for investment and job creation. The podcast also examines the current state of the Democratic Party, highlighting internal conflicts and dissatisfaction among voters. Shapiro points out that many black voters are beginning to question what the Democratic Party has done for them, suggesting a potential shift in allegiance. He discusses the implications of this discontent, particularly in urban areas where Democratic leadership has failed to deliver on promises. Shapiro notes that prominent Democrats, including Hakeem Jeffries and Pramila Jayapal, are facing scrutiny from their own party members. He highlights the ideological battles within the party, with progressives pushing back against more moderate leadership. This infighting is framed as a sign of the party's broader struggles to connect with voters and maintain unity. The podcast concludes with a discussion of the media's portrayal of Trump's victory and the ongoing narrative surrounding his administration. Shapiro critiques leftist commentators who downplay Trump's electoral success, arguing that their attempts to delegitimize his win reflect a deeper fear of his policies and their potential impact on the country. He highlights the absurdity of some media figures who continue to frame Trump as a threat while simultaneously seeking to engage with his administration.